Hey guys, welcome back to The Interceptor, and today we are here with a review of my Season 45 Season Pursuit. And if you saw my War 11 or 12 videos, you'll know that there was a controversial video or fight in War number 11 that I spent quite a lot debating about whether or not it should count as a death, because I count deaths differently than the way the game does. I don't count it as just attack bonus loss, because obviously I recognize that there are situations that should not count, such as deaths. Oh my god. Such as disconnects. If you disconnect from a fight, it's not your fault, and you should receive no personal penalty for it, despite the fact that the game counts it, because the game does not properly know how to determine what is a disconnect and what is a forced close. And just to be safe, as like a blanket thing, they just count it all as a death. Which, I mean, it's a solution. It's not the best solution, but I came up with a system that I think was better for me, where basically I can discount deaths in certain situations that are out of my control. But I think I took it a little bit too far this time. I really kind of did convince myself that this should not count, and I think it was mostly because I just cared so much about War. But I kind of just realized that personal stats don't really matter that much. I mean having a deathless season doesn't matter that much. I do think personal stats matter, because the less deaths you are, generally speaking, you're a better player. But yeah, I think I just took it too far, trying to excuse a death for a dumb reason. And while I do fully believe that if the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights had not been placed on the fight, as I requested them specifically not to be placed on the fight, I do believe that I would have soloed, because I literally proved it mathematically. Like, it's irrefutable that had those Mr. Fantastic pre-fights not been on the fight, I would have soloed. I literally proved it. But the fact remains that the fight was still physically possible. Now, it did make it quite a bit harder. And how much harder, if you watch if you watch War 11, the analysis part, the second half of the video, probably made it about 25% harder. I don't know. Roughly, like 25% harder to solo. But I did make two mistakes at the end of the fight that led to me dying. And I just kind of have to accept that. So this season as a whole was not the best season for Matrix. We went 5-7, and we missed Masters, landing in Platinum 1. We just didn't play very well this season, really. But for my personal stats, I had 11 boss kills, one of which I died to. So I was 10 out of 11 for boss fights. And for my fight totals, or my fight count overall, I took 101 fights this season, and I died to one of them, so I soloed 100 out of 101, which is a very good season. I mean, that's a very good season. Only dying once in 101 fights? Like, some of the best players in the game don't consistently put up numbers like that. Now, I am in no way saying I'm at their level, but I am capable of putting up a good season like this every few seasons. And because I've had a couple rough seasons in a row, I think last season was 2 deaths, I want to say, and the season before was, I think, 6. I've come off of a couple really rough seasons, and it is nice to be able to have a season like this where not only did I play well, but I also felt very comfortable with the champs I was using. I was very confident going into most of my fights. There was only probably 5 or 6 fights that I was scared of this season that I genuinely thought I was going to die heading in, but all of those fights actually turned out to be some of the better fights in the season, ironically. because I seem to be able to perform under pressure decently well. But yeah, 100 fights or 101 fights, 100 solos, which is over 99%, but we'll round it down to 99%. And my death in this season occurred in the 11th war on the last fight. So my deathless streak is going to start from the 12th war, which is going to, in which I had 8 fights. So that's going to be, my deathless streak is going to sit at 8 fights right now. And hopefully I can continue it into next season. Now, my tactic attackers for this following season are not as good as they were in the previous 2 seasons, but I don't think the next meta is going to be as scary as a lot of people thought, because power control just helps so much. So I think champions like Hood, Doom, like all the power control champions, or a lot of the tactic attackers like Omega Sentinel, Warlock, and Mantis are going to be very, very powerful this season. Also, this season in no way stops Stealth Spidey, so I'm still going to do a lot of damage with him this season. Also, one of the meta bosses this season is going to be Photon, and this meta doesn't, or like the global doesn't really affect Photon in the match of Stealthy versus Photon, because Photon never reaches a bar of power, and that's how the global activates. So I do think I'll have a fun time next season, unless Stealthy becomes banned. But with him not being attacker tactic, I think that is very unlikely, because I think he was only banned 3 wars this season, even with him being an attacker tactic champion. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video saying that I kind of decided what I wanted to do, because even in my last video, I was not sure what I wanted to do. But I have decided that I'm going to count it as a death. Dying once in a season is really not that bad, and I shouldn't sacrifice the integrity of what a deathless streak means just to make myself feel a little better. And at the time, I did not go into the situation with the intention to do so, but I realized that I kind of unintentionally did that. So I don't want to be that guy. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll have a good next season. I opened my season rewards, but they were kind of mid, so I decided not to upload that video. It was 12%, or sorry, 12 of these 5%, and I didn't even form a single class. Amazing. I opened some of these, and I got like nothing useful, and I didn't even get to a 7-star, because I'm still at 8,000 shards. So yeah, there was literally no reason to upload that video. I've already deleted it. It was just a boring video, and I don't like uploading videos like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for all the support that I received this season. This last season of Alliance War, my channel has been doing better than it ever has in the past. Like, it's been my best month by far. So I really appreciate everything. I appreciate all of you watching, liking the video, and subscribing. And hopefully we can keep that up next season. See you guys later. Bye.